My name is Arthur Waller. I'm 74 this year. I have the MBE and I got that for the services within the community, Merseyside. I was Justice of the Peace for 27.5 years.
Would you like to tell me a little bit about how you first got involved with the baths and your earliest memories of coming into it through your father?
I saw an application for the baths, becoming an assistant manager in the baths. I had 3 interviews with the baths, and in the end he called me back and he said, I'm going to give you the job on shared assistance because you've been here 3 times. I was a relief manager in actual fact, and I used to relieve in all of the swimming pools around the area. The manager of Livingstone Street Baths was Bert Johnson. He was a friend of my dad's. He retired. I took over the pool. They could have buried me there, really. I loved it so much because it was in the middle of the north end of Birkenhead. It's rough, but there's good people there. The pools were very, very well used. Because we were in such a poor area, should we say, and all the schools around within about 2 miles walking, because they didn't have buses then, and they didn't have bus them everywhere. The schools used to walk in. With having the laundry there, we were able to do small things like just take the clothes off the kids, put them in the tumble dryers, dry the clothing, so when they came out, they were going out in warm clothes. It was in the middle of a big industrial area, in actual fact. At the bottom of Livingstone Street used to be the Blue Funnel Line, Odyssey, and all the docks were there. So, and all the coal handling and coke handling facilities were up at Duke Street. And so subsequently, all of the workmen used to come in, the sailors as well, used to come in and have a bath in there, because the houses were 2 up and 2 down, back toilet, no baths in them. So we used to do 600 to 700, 800 baths a week. It was more like a community centre than a swimming pool. Old people around, who lived around in sheltered accommodation type, would bring their washing and ask me if one of the girls would come in and say, the old lady over there, she can't do a washing, can we? And they'd take it in. And the old people, they couldn't. It's not like social services now. We were doing it gratis, we were doing it for nothing because we were there and we had spare capacity. We used to bath tramps and everything, so it was a social thing, it really was. It was for me. The ladies of the night used to come in.
Right, I see.
And they'd knock on the window, and they all knew me. And they'd say, all right for the bath. They had the kids with them. They looked like the League of Nations or something, because some phrases do. And they used to come in there, and I was on. They'd tell you information.
Yeah.
What was going around, and there was any drugs on the scene and all that. They knew all the things. And the police used to come in. I used to get the police. Dickie Matthews was an old mate of mine who lived in the same road as me. He used to come in. He used to be on the beat down there, and he'd pick up all sorts of information in there as well. I actually had a case. I was sitting in the office talking to Dickie Matthews, and his phone went off, the wireless. So one is it's armed robbery up in Duke Street. Now, Duke Street was about a quarter of a mile up the road. And I said, hold on a minute, and this fella come running round the corner of Duke Street and Price Street, and he running down, and I said, ask him for a description, Dick. He said, oh, red top, blue denim jeans, blue denim jacket, dark, small. I said, hold on, Dick, here he is. He's running down, and he run up the steps of the baths and in behind the door. And Dickie's standing behind him saying, go on, he's starting. Bang, Dickie knocked him out, dragged him down the steps, because I can always remember his heels banging on the steps, dragged him down, put him into a police car, called him for a jar, got a commendation for it. We had a big housing estate over the road built there, but they still came in, because, how can you say, it was like a post office. People would come in and talk. and it was like a clearance station for all information. And I'm a great believer. I like community, because community is where I live, and so subsequently I try and make it better. But them down there, they were just salted the earth a lot of them. You know, they gave you the bloody back shirt off the back, but they were poor, and they could come in and they could feel comfortable there, because the people who I employed came from around the area. And when they closed the building, I was broken hearted.